One image in particular comes from a photograph I shot of a little 8-year-old boy. His name was Willie. Willie wore a pair of jeans with red patches in both knees. He found a black suit coat, 3-button suit coat. He wore this day after day after day. He had never had one. He waited for me in the morning. We would start our day together. And when he saw me, he'd jump up and down and he'd say, "Hey, Bob, let's have breakfast." Then I'd see him go back to his tent with his mother and sister. And I'd go off and begin my day. He always had a smile. He was having more fun than he had ever had in his life. He was meeting people. They could exchange ideas. Another photograph I had, I remember vividly, is a portrait of a black woman standing behind a wooden fence, or near a wooden fence, with Department of Justice sign, and she's posed, looking angry. And I said, "How long will you be there?" And she said, "I'll be here until I get what I came for," and that's justice. After Bobby Kennedy was assassinated, it was strange because the news media left. Everything goes west. We were left high and dry. So they didn't really care what happened. We didn't know what was going to happen. The leaders agreed. They had only petitioned or whatever they had to do to get that ground until June 19th. Afterwards, the city fathers were prepared. They were predicting the 19th is going to be trouble. And they were a lie, because all we did on the 19th was cry, shake hands, kiss each other on the cheek, and wish each other a better life. And we went our separate ways.
This 1968 has to go down as one of the most turbulent years in the history of the United States. We had 2 major assassinations. We had the Democratic Party convention in Chicago and the turbulence that took place there with police beating demonstrators. We had the election of Richard Nixon by a narrow margin over Hubert Humphrey. We had the controversy over the Vietnam War, and the Vietnam War was sort of a focal point. And I think the important thing about the Poor People's Campaign, it seems to me, is that it broadened the scope of the movement a great deal to include class issues and multiracial issues as extensions of civil rights, not to replace civil rights, but as extension of the civil rights movement. If you didn't have class rights, you know, what good would your civil rights be?
Everybody's celebrating 1968. The first thing I said that the thing we're celebrating the least right now, it seems, is the Poor People's Campaign, and I'm glad that Morgan State University and is doing this. I mean, someone's got to kind of remember it in some significant ways. So I think, for a lot of reasons, because it was a movement that fizzled, and because it was, I think, one of the most dangerously radical but positive kind of steps to be taken in '68, that for a lot of reasons it's forgotten. And so I'm glad some people are remembering the Resurrection City.
One of the important things as a result of Resurrection City, as a result of that movement, we have a brother. See, back in '68, they would have called him a brother man, this sort of thing. Obama is going to be president. He came out of that as a result of that. Whatever you wish to do, you can. You will never do it alone. You won't do it alone. Everybody needs somebody. Together, there's no limit as to what you can do.